is his coverage versatility. Now, I think of him as a modern nickel free safety who's kind of comfortable defending the deep third, but also roaming the box. Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is Big Temp with the Cave Cast. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us again. As always, I can't even say that now. Well, usually I am joined with a co-host, right? But today I'm not. He's got some other things going on, and that's okay. But today we are coming to you with a list. My top 5 list of free safeties and strong safeties in this year's NFL draft 2026. Now, mind you, these are the guys that I think I would like to see if I had a choice on a free safety or safety that would play for the Chiefs. Guys who I think would fit into Spags' scheme. Now, if you're new to the channel, I want to say thank you for hitting that thumbnail, giving us a chance. And if you like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button and think about hitting that subscribe button. We got lots of stuff that you can go back and check out. I'm also going to be asking people, hey, look, like I said, this is my top 5. If you find anybody in here that you don't agree should be in this top 5 or you think should be different, or maybe it's a guy that I just didn't put in here, put them in the comments. Put that person in the comments and let me know. I like to get interaction. I like to get some feedback. Helps us. And on top of that, we don't know everything. We do not know everything. So, and I may have a guy that you think is dog water. So who knows? But with that being said, my top safety prospects for this 2026, and it's my top 5, okay? So my top 5, first off the list is Caleb Downs out of Ohio State. Versatile safety, free safety, strong safety. Why? To me, I think he's special. Downs is the consensus top safety in this class and could vary defensive back if you need him to, right? He does have a rare blend of instincts, size, and versatility. Now, I view him as someone who can patrol the deep middle. As a free safety, I also think of him as a guy who can also step up in the box or slot on early downs. He's a tough, fast tackler. He sees the field well, and he can cover tight ends and receivers in man or zone. Now, Downs, as far as his projection in the draft, I have him going early in the first round. To me, his strengths are his football IQ, his tackling range. That's a big thing. He's got fantastic range when he gets ready to tackle a guy, right? Another strength for me is his coverage versatility. Now, I think of him as a modern nickel free safety who's kind of comfortable defending the deep third, but also roaming the box. That's my number 1. At number 2, I have Dylan Thieneman out of Oregon. He is a free safety type. I've ranked him at number 2 because Thieneman does mix his reliable coverage instincts with range. He's the kind of safety, I would say, a lot of coaches can trust, especially in deep zones and on intermediate routes. Now, his game tape shows good pattern recognition and excellent play anticipation. My projection for him is day 1 or early day 2. My strengths on him are his zone coverage, his smart reads, and I think he's a classic free safety who prefers to play off the line, and He likes to use his range rather than being in the box and be a banger. At number 3, I have Emmanuel McNeil Warren out of Toledo. Now, he is a strong safety, but I got him in that hybrid role too. Now, he stands out to me because he does offer a lot of physicality, and he's got great instincts in run defense and coverage. He's not just a coverage safety. He plays downhill and he makes clear tackles, especially at the line of scrimmage, which projects him for me naturally to the strong safety position in many of the defensive schemes, especially in ours. I have him projected early day 2. His strengths for me are his tackling, his instincts. He has position versatility, which is what we really, really want. I do have him as a safety who flashes a lot of linebacker tendencies. And I think he can make plays all over the field. I don't think he is just subjected to just, roam as far as deep anyway. I do like that about him. At number 4, I have AJ Halsey out of LSU. Now, Halsey is a coverage safety and slot support. He's on my board because Halsey's game centers around smart zone coverage. He's got fluid movement, and he also has the ability to read the quarterback. Now, he's not the biggest safety. His instincts and ball skills do, however, project well in passing defenses. I have Halsey going day 2. His strengths for me are his coverage and his ability to play in a zone awareness kind of, defense. Now, for me, Halsey, he's a strong safety. He can also help in sub packages, but to me, he is really a strong safety. At number 5, I have Kamari Ramsey out of USC. Kamari is a free safety with box ability. And I hope you guys are starting to see a pattern here. I like these safeties who do have this ability to play down in the box. But Kamari is a safety with box ability. Why he is on my top 5, he shows range as well and adaptability in coverage, plus willingness to play near the line on occasion. Now, there are some boards out there who rank him slightly differently, but I see him as a solid day 2 prospect. So I got him at day 2. His strengths for me are his range, his coverage reliability, and he is a flexible safety in deep zones and some box rotation. There are other names on this list. Out of the top 5 that I put out there, if you have somebody else different or you think the order's mixed up in some way, I can't see how anybody's over downs. But if you have the order mixed up, a guy should be at number 2 or another guy should be at number 4, leave it in the comments. But other names I have on this list that I have, some interest in and I think could be mid to late day first rounds or mid to late day rounds are guys like Michael Taft out of Texas. He's a reliable coverage guy with athleticism, but he is less physical as far as his playmaking goes. There's also Genesis Smith out of Arizona. Has great length and coverage upside. There's also Keontae Scott out of Miami. He is a safety / defensive back. I mean, he's really versatile. And the thing about him, though, is that there's a lot of mixed evaluations on what he is. Is he a safety? Is he a defensive back? Right? So, to me, there's depth throughout the mid rounds, okay? And some teams might project certain players as hybrid defenders. It kind of depends on the coverage scheme or run fit needs, right? But for me, how they project at the next level, as far as a free safety goes, the traits I'm looking for are range and ball tracking and kind of like a deep field awareness and comfort in coverage, right? And the guys that kind of fit that are guys like Downs, Thieneman, and Ramsey. Now, as far as strong safety goes, the guys who, right, with the physical traits I'm looking for, these kind of things are guys who are physical on the run or physical in run support. They have short to intermediate coverage skills. They have a box presence. And those guys that kind of fit in that mold of what I'm looking for are guys like McNeil, Warren, and Halsey. There are others, but like I said, depending on the scheme, these are the guys I think that fit the best for the scheme the Chiefs play. Downs, however, does stand alone as the most likely to be a day one starter anywhere on the field. He does have true two-way safety traits. And that's something that modern defenses, kind of covet right now. Thieneman and Ramsey, they bring coverage reliability. And McNeil Warren gives a team, whoever he decides to play for, whoever he plays for, gets drafted to, he gives them a downhill physical presence at safety. Now, like I said, there are other guys, and I can't tell you who is going after, for sure, after Caleb as far as safety or free safety. But these are guys that I am putting as our projection or my projection as the top free safety that I think can play in this scheme for the Chiefs, and overall who I think are the best safeties no matter what. Now, there I think is going to be a sleeper that's going to come out of this. I don't know for sure who it is. I'm still looking at things, and you never know who's going to move up as far as the boards go based on a performance at the combine. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see. But as of right now, these are the guys I've got 1 through 5. If you enjoyed this little bit that I put out today on free safeties and safeties, keep in mind we have done others on defensive tackles and defensive ends. If you haven't seen those, go back and check out some of our content that we've done a couple weeks back. And if you like what you heard tonight and you like to get better analysis, or you like to get some analysis from a guy who's watched a ton of football and just like to hang out and you ain't got nothing else to do, come on over, check us out here at the Cavecast. So for myself and my co-host who's not here, Mr. Michael Flair, I'd like to say thank you guys for joining us, and we hope you come back and check us out again. Y'all take it easy.